Hey guys, it's me, Simone, and in this video we're going to do some art journaling in my junk journal. This is a little insert I made. If you watch my One Book July, I made this video. I made this book to in turn replace my junk journal that I use on a regular basis. So yeah. I have no idea what I want to do, but I kind of get crafty, and I'm at this point where I'm just like, I don't know what to do, but I want to do something. I don't know if you've ever gotten like that. Like you want to do something crafty, but you have like absolutely no idea what to do. So all I know is I want to use this book with this page, and this is just a scrapbook page, a pre-painted page, and this is a piece of like parchment paper. I don't want to use those. I want to use this stencil that I got from Tuesday Morning. It's a wood grain. I'm thinking about using, I got a marbling kit, like a marbling paper kit from Dollar Tree. I think I might want to use this with some collaging on it. I might not. And I know for a fact I want to use this paint chip. That's all I have. That's it. So stencil, paint chip, maybe this. I have no idea where we're going with this, but I'm going to speed it up and I will get back to you guys and we'll see how this page turns out, shall we? Yeah. So, alright, let's get started with this page. So right now I'm going to get some paper and put it under my book so it does not get paint everywhere on my desk. And I'm going to get some Liquitex gesso and put it on page 2, prime it a bit. Actually right now I'm going over to my computer and my fan to turn them on, because normally I have my fan on in the background, but I've been noticing how loud it is, so I've been trying to turn it off when I make my videos so it doesn't distract you and add unnecessary noise. So, but since this video was not going to be like a live video, I just turned it off. It's too hot to be having no fan on. I gotta find a quiet fan or something. So right now I'm going to gesso my page, and I'm having a problem with using too much gesso, but that's what happens when you don't squeeze it out of the bottle. You just open, take the lid off. But the gesso is very thick. If you look at the reviews, it's very thick. This Liquitex basic gesso, that's actually the biggest complaint on Amazon, is it's too thick. I don't mind the thickness, it's really gritty. It's not my favorite gesso. Right now I just like plopped out a big old amount of gesso, so I'm trying to put it back in. And I don't know if you can see, but off camera I'm actually kind of like I'm hitting the bottle on the desk to help the gesso go back in the bottle, because anything else wasn't working. So I'm going to gesso this. I'm using just some cheap brushes I got from Dollar General in my little Dollar Tree store challenge thing I used. I'm telling you right now, I had no patience in this video. I am not waiting for anything to dry, really, unless it got to a point where it was just too annoying. And eventually I'm going to move my page up because I realize I'm too low. And you would think I would just, I don't know, wait a little bit, but I really wanted to do something, but I had no idea what to do. So I guess I want to do something real quick. And I'm actually going to keep wiping my hands off and cleaning them. I think I was changing the video I was watching. That's what's taking me so long. Who knows, right? So right now I went out and got myself a Crayola stick in the color orange. I'm going to color it on paper and then get some my paintbrush and smear it out. I realized the other side was actually still wet from the gesso because I had no patience to wait. But I'm actually going to ignore that fact and keep trying to put it on that side, even though it's not wanting to go. So yeah, I just don't care at the moment in time. So I'm going to smear that out and add it to the top of the page on the other side too. A little bit of harmony. And let me keep that up. And you can actually see like the page from the because I'm using junk paper, so this paper has been painted on previously. So it's actually interesting that I kind of keep similar color schemes. when I do this. I'm actually going to reach up on my desk and have things follow me. Every time I make a video, there's a crack-a-lanch, like just non-stop. But I'm going to get out some Delusions paint. The paint colors I'm using are Post Box Red, Crushed Grape maybe, or Concord, I remember, and maybe Lemon Zest, I think it's colors. Yeah, Crushed Grape, Lemon Zest, and Post Box Red. Yeah. This is my like second or third time making this video. I mean, a video voiceover, so I'm like all over the place. And I don't know, it's an interesting color scheme. I never done a color scheme or did it or whatever. A color scheme with yellow, red, orange, and purple. Interesting. So I'm going to go through and smear them around. I love using my fingers with the Delusions paint. I have to say though, they're not my favorite paints though. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me. I'm not in love with them, but I don't hate them. I'm just kind of like on the fence. They're okay, but I feel like they're prettier when they're in the container than they are on my page. I mean, am I the only one who feels like that? Because I feel like I see a lot of people who like love them, and I'm like the only one who just like, just, huh. But I'm saying this page just, and this whole entire experience was just annoying. I was getting frustrated with this page a lot, and I was okay with that because I use art journaling as a release for like anger or whatever, and I actually finally realized I need to be patient and blow dry the page a little bit because I couldn't work with it. And then I realized I need to paint the little piece of paper in between. But as I was saying, it's okay to get frustrated with a page and keep going and just maybe use a page as your frustration. But I was not 100% happy with this page, but I love that anyways, and I keep it anyways as a reminder for progress. Maybe this page you didn't like and you can always redo it, or rework it on something else. So I'm gonna use the Crushed Grape and the yellow on two different sides. On this side it's gonna be the grape, and another side will be the lemon, which actually kind of set the tone for the pages I did, because they actually turned out completely different at the end. Like, they didn't look like they were even done at the same time to me. But I don't always make normally when I art journal, I have ideas of what I want to do and I'll do it, or it's like a question I want to answer, like what if, or it's a frustration I want to get out. I've had tons of pages where I'm like literally mad or angry and I'll just splash paper on my page to get the frustration out or whatever. I'm trying to add some washi tape right now, but it wasn't working. I end up adding it later. But right now I'm going to get a stamp set out. I'm going to use this Prima stamp set, and I think it's like some lace or chain, I forgot I think it's rope. Maybe it's rope. I'm going to stamp that out. I'm using the Ranger ink pad from Tuesday Morning, and actually making sure I can see it because the paint was transferring on my stamp, so I was seeing if anything was wet still. But it's okay. These are my ink pads I use for art journaling purposes, so I don't 100% care if they get ruined, since they were so cheap. But I'm going to keep adding that around, and see how I like that. Then I'm going to get my stencil. You see I moved my page out the way. I'm actually going to stamp with my stencil. I don't know if I got this technique from somebody. I can't remember, but I'm going to use my homemade dauber and just add a bunch of paint to the page, not really trying to stencil through it, but just adding a ton of paint. And then I'm going to flip it around and press it on my page. And I really recommend getting a scrap piece of paper to put over your stencil when you're pushing on it, because the paint will seep through and get on your fingers and it's really messy. I think I show you my hands after a while because they're getting really messy doing this technique, but it's my favorite technique because you get like the opposite of like the negative of stencil. But you see everything's still sticking because I'm not patient enough to wait. And I'm laying my book down in the wet paint, and I just don't care because it's a junk journal. It's supposed to get a little messy. It's a junk journal art journal, so it's supposed to get a little messy. So I'm going to flip the little tab and do it on the other side. I think I'll show you my hands sometime soon. Like, they weren't that messy, but
messy hands equals a messy fun page. You can't art journal without getting a little messy. That's my rule. So I'm gonna do that. Add some pieces to other sides that I feel like are lacking, and I'm going to I flip over my book and show you that I got paint on it because I just didn't care. It was just a fun page, but I feel like bit by bit in this video, I just started getting more and more unhappy with the turnout, especially this side. So I'm gonna blow dry this page, and eventually I'm just gonna walk away because it wasn't drying as fast as I wanted to, and the blow dryer wasn't really helping. So I'm gonna eventually just walk away, watch the video, and then come back. You know, you don't have to do an art journal page in one sitting. Do I do art journal page? No, one sitting. No, I think I do like multiples. But I had to realize, Simone, you're doing one book July. You can't go and get your junk journal. You have to use this thing. And I think that's another reason why I was frustrated too. I had envisioned this in my junk journal, not in this book. So, and I think that's how that affected me. While I was off camera and taking a break, I went through, got the paint chip, and die cut it in butterflies and mason jars. And I want to go through and poke out all the holes out of the paint chips because the butterfly die cuts are very detailed. So, and those are both from AliExpress, I think. Yeah, AliExpress or eBay. I can't remember at all. But I'm gonna do that. But I don't know. This page wasn't. Maybe I should have kept the paint chip out. I don't know. It's not my most. I don't like dislike this page that much. I've done worse, but it's not a page I'm that happy with. I like one side over the other, but I can always go back and repaint it or do something to it. I might not. It might just grow on me. You never know. That's why I'm not too rushed. I kind of like wait a little bit and decide later what I'll do. Right now I'm shaking up my DIY chalk paint. I'm going to add some white on it because it was a little too bright for me. So add some white on the edges to kind of tone it down. And another thing I was getting frustrated with is I haven't bound this book. The pages are kind of just held in there by elastic for my TN. And so they kind of want to move around and fall out a little bit. So yeah. And now I'm shaking up my DIY dye ink set. Easter dye ink spray. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm shaking that up and spraying that, and I love that thing because it's so shimmery. It's like now my second or third favorite ink to use. I'll find some reason to use that ink because the shimmer is just gorgeous. Now I'm gonna add some gesso to the die cuts in the mason jar and stuff because I wanted to blend in a little better with the paint the background because it was a little like too clean compared to the background. Now I'm actually going to try to use my tacky glue, but it wasn't coming out, so I got frustrated with it. I was like, nah, I don't have time for this. I went and got my Martha Stewart's collage glue. That's from Tuesday Morning. I really like this glue. It's like only 99 cents, and it works really well. So I like clear glue. So first thing you grab and the easiest thing to use is kind of my motto. And finally, I'm going to actually use that washi tape. This is the one from Dollar Tree. It has little like paints circles. If you got a paintbrush and you like make little dots with your paintbrush, that's what the washi tape looks like, but it descends in like rainbow colors or transitions on different rainbow colors. It's really nice. So I'm gonna rip it up and add it to the bottoms and tops of all the pages, and I'm using some of the Martha Stewart like fine tip glue from Tuesday Morning to help it stick to the painted page. I just love this page much better. I don't know why. Maybe because it's more yellow and purple or something, and that orange was throwing me off, and it's more red on that side. I don't really know. But I was getting really frustrated, but I was pushing through because I really wanted to finish the page. Wasn't gonna come back to it, and I don't know. I wanted to see the outcome, but I really wasn't enjoying the process. Funny. Now I'm actually gonna look for a stamp set. I'm looking for my mason jar stamp set and my butterflies. This is a Fiskars stamp set. Yeah, I think they both are. Or one is, I don't remember. And I'm going to stamp that down. And I'm going to stamp down a butterfly stamp too. The one butterfly stamp is from AliExpress. But I ended up stamping on this page with the dye inks from Ranger from Tuesday Morning, but they did not show. That's why my hair is coming in the camera. They were not. The stamp wasn't as bright or clear as I wanted it to be, so I ended up stamping on a piece of cardstock paper and stamping everything out on this and cutting it out. So I think both of those are Fiskars stamps, and then the butterfly stamp I'm stamping right now is from, it says AliExpress. It's really cheap. It's a layering stamp, but I'm just using the most, like the third stamp in the layering set, and the most detailed stamp, and doing that instead, because I wasn't going to layer all that. I just wanted that kind of outline. I really like butterflies. And this one I'm actually going to use two different ink pads. I'm using the one from Ranger and the one from Umbrella Crafts, and it's like a cocoa bean and tan leather, I think, so that's what I'm using. I'm going to go through and cut them out. I was actually looking for my fussy cutting scissors, which I could not find, and I feel like I just don't speak English sometimes, guys. I'm just making up words. I think I said scissors right, or I think I didn't. Who knows? But I was like, I'm cutting them out, which is regular bigger scissors, which kind of frustrated me a little bit too, because I really wanted to use my fussy cutting scissors. But you know, it's a little bump in the road. But I guess it's like all of it kind of compiled on each other, and I couldn't use my junk journal because I'm doing one book July. I couldn't do this. This wasn't turning out that. So like all became just like this annoyance. And actually, by the end of the video, I actually was like throwing my book across. I'm like across my dress, but just that's how I felt. Like I just, like just throw it and get rid of it and just be done. You can't see that frustration. It was on my face, but that's how I felt doing this page. But I still want to upload it and show you guys, because not every page is gonna be perfect. Every page is not picture worthy, and not every page is gonna make you happy. It's a process, and I like keeping my mistakes, quote unquote. I'm gonna spray them pages, my die little cuts. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna cut those. I'm gonna spray those with ink because they were too white and pristine for the page. That's what I'm trying to say. Can't speak. But not every page has to be like this work of art. That's not what art journaling is about. Not for me, anyways. It's about expressing yourself, having fun, and answering the question, what if I use this technique? What will happen? These products, how they mix with that. It's just a way for me to express myself and have fun. I end up using two different glues. I'm using Martha Stewart glue, and then I'm using cement, wet cement. And then I'm going to go over the edges of all these with my Spectrum Noir marker. I only use my Spectrum Noir markers for art journaling, so they're just dedicated to art journaling, so they don't get ruin any of my other markers, my alcohol markers, by putting them on paint and stuff. But you know, I don't really care. They're really cheap, and I can replace the nibs and you know whatever I gotta do. And actually, was messing up the nib right now, but I'm just wiping it off on a piece of paper. And next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to find a sentiment to add on here, but I end up not finding something I like. I pull out a stamp set, but I ended up not using it. And then I cut out a high and part of the paint chip and part of cardstock that I stamped a little mason jar and butterflies on, and I just totally hated it. I even sprayed it, didn't like it. But yeah. But I'm just saying, you know, who cares? It's your book. You don't have to share it to everybody. It can just be your way of expressing yourself and letting go. And that's what I do. So not every page is going to be work of art, but it's a work in progress for me. And I'm going to glue it down and just waste all that glue because I did not even like it. Like, I looked at it for 2 seconds. I think I flipped the page even. And then it was like, no, nope, hate it. Got a baby wipe after the glue. But that's going to be in my video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to write down the date. Everything's still sticking because it's not dry because I have no patience. And I love you guys so much. Enjoy. Bye.